I'm going to follow up a little bit with the last little talk that I gave and sharing of my thoughts. When you make God number one in your life, when your number one goal is to be right with God, how does that affect all your choices and decisions? Right now, I've had some difficulties in my life with individuals very close to me, and my trust in individuals has been breached and put at a stage at a point where I question my choice, my decision, and my right with God on the choice I make. Do I have the right to throw this person out of my life? The Bible says, let us put aside every weight that so easily besets us. That means things in our life that in and of itself is not a sin, but it could weigh us down and keep us from being right with God. So yeah, I may have the right to and the question is, would this person pull me down and away from God? Would the person you're with pull you down and away from God, and you wouldn't be right with God? If our goal, or if our purpose for living is to share God's love and the gospel to all the world, how does that person affect our ability to share the gospel? Is it going to be impaired? Is it going to be made more difficult? Is it going to slow us down? Well, those are the things that we have to think of, I believe. So in my situation, my love, my grace, my understanding in this situation, this person's betrayal, is going to be a witness to others. How do we share the gospel? Not through words only, sometimes with words, but with our actions. What better way to share the gospel than to share the gospel through our actions? To me, it's so clear. God is constantly giving us situations to show and to see how we react. It could be a child, one of our children that betrays us. It could be our wife. It could be any person out there who does something that hurts the mission. Are we going to throw that person out? It might be the right thing to do, but let's take a closer look. How do we respond to their action? How did God respond to us? Did God forgive us? Does He love us? People are watching and they want to know what we do. We're not under the Moses law where people were stoned to death. We are under, it's interesting because much of the Christian world say we're under the New Testament, we're under the law of grace. And, in a way that's true, but there's just a misconception of it. There's a false theology that's taught that you don't have to do what's right, that Jesus did everything for you. Try that with your wife or your husband. Try to tell them, well, Jesus did it all for me. I don't have to be faithful to you. It just doesn't work. A relationship that is not honest and faithful and loving doesn't work. Try it with Jesus. It won't work. Trust me. You can't even live with yourself. You're not right with Him. You're not being honest with Him. So that's not what saves us. It's His death on the cross. It's His sacrifice because He was sinless. It's His grace that makes it possible for us. But trust me when I say that we won't be happy in heaven. We won't be fitted for heaven if we're living a lifestyle and practicing dishonest habits. So anyway, I think you're understanding my point. I'm going to turn this off now. It's almost 5 minutes. I'll think of another thought in a bit.